This is the second time that I'm speaking at this hall, and good to see all of you. Welcome to this talk session. I and Professor Bhargav and I were also there last time together, but we have a lot to talk about. Although I'll probably take about 40 minutes if you permit, and we'll have a lot of interaction. Maybe 30-35 minutes and more interaction, and then maybe if you like we can do a short meditation also. The last line in my bio was mentioned as practicing meditator and yogi for many decades. So then many decades sounds a bit too much. It's probably 2 decades. 2 decades means about 18 years or 19 years, but anyway. Yogananda Meditation Circle, I think, is providing, as are other bodies on campus, doing a very laudable job of bringing a certain amount of balance to the proceedings that are going on in life. And I am aware of what has been happening on the campus. So I was here in the interim after my last talk, and till today in the middle also I came just for an informal meeting. So somehow I'm a frequent traveler to Chennai, and I had a meeting informally with students. Many of them were talking about overthinking, and when I go to my talks and I ask the students, especially young people, are you into overthinking? Please raise your hands if you are. I ask them. I'm not asking you to raise hands as of now. But about 70% of them will raise their hands. About 30% of them don't. But we know that the 30% also are overthinking. So there's no need to overthink about overthinking also, because it becomes counterproductive. That, oh, I'm overthinking. That becomes the bane or the pain of our existence. We need to handle it, and overthinking is typically something which is over is basically negative. Too much of something, we say too much of a good thing. So too much ice cream, too many samosas, too much of whatever becomes counterproductive. Thinking is a great activity. I mean, human beings think much more analytically and broadly and philosophically than any other species, but overdoing it. And the second thing which we must come to right away is the fact that our brains and minds are always on, and that is because of social media. And these students told me last time that they spend up to 3 hours on reels. There's no escaping, there's no denying, there's no hiding from the fact that this is a reality. It is addictive, it is compelling, it is perhaps a little destructive also. And the modern word is disruptive. But disruptive they use in a good way. Entrepreneurs are disruptive. But here, by being too much into social media and reels, we are being disruptive in a wrong way to our own lives. To disrupt the even, smooth flow of life, which never is even and smooth, it's always ups and downs. But can we somehow allow our minds and beings to rest? I mean, how efficient can we be? We are in IIT. I'm also an engineer, electronics. I mean, how much efficiency can human beings exhibit or display? We do need to sleep. We do need to switch off our minds. But sleep deprivation is another problem. A youngster who's going to Canada for completing his MBA, he did half his MBA in Hyderabad. Now he's going to Canada to do the other half of his MBA. In the first semester of his MBA at Hyderabad, he says, I was pretty cool, fine. In the second semester of our MBA, they killed us. And killed is such a wrong, strong word to use here. But nowadays we use killed even for, sir, you killed it. Which means that you were top of the pops. Can we use this word lightly? In view of what happens, we can't. We need to watch the vibrations we are sending out to the universe. What are the words we are using? But coming back to this youngster, he says the second semester was so tough. They used to sleep 3 to 4 hours a day. 3 to 4 hours. So his problem is sleep deprivation. And now he's going to Canada, and where he expects it to be slightly milder, the course continues. Sleep deprivation, overthinking, overdoing reels, over this, over that. And you can't get over the fact that you are overdoing everything. So we are basically squeezing ourselves dry too much, too early. So you see the lime or the orange, if you keep squeezing it little by little, a lemon may also, last for a while. But if you squeeze all the juice out, then nothing is left. How much can we be on and how much do we need to be off? Sleeping is one thing. Can we allow our minds to rest while we are actively participating in our activities? Right now you are in a listening mode. But mind wandering is a disease, is an ailment. Depends on me as a speaker and the topic and the level of your freshness or tiredness. But after a while the mind wanders. And there is a saying which I will use now instead of later, which is that always finish speaking before the audience has finished listening. So I have to make sure of that also. But mind wandering is an ailment. So can I allow my mind to rest at times? How can I do it while I'm conscious, while I'm awake? When is the last time I was sitting doing nothing? Not listening, not talking, not watching the screen. When is that last time? Not even having a shower, not even having breakfast. Doing nothing is an art. We're not talking about meditation yet. I'm just saying doing nothing is a great achievement today. I often say this, and I may have said it last time, it's on recording, it's on video, that the Himachal Pradesh person, the person in the hills, is still doing this. When the sun is out, he or she is sunning and trying to ward off the cold and virtually doing nothing. The phone is also somehow not disturbing. These individuals are more evolved than people in metros, because we are not doing that. So we need to, the first point that I want to try to make is, we need to stop overutilizing our minds and try to be calmer. Now I'm an IAS officer. I have to bring in this IAS to hold your attention. Ranveer Alavadia already came. Reason enough for you to listen to me. 2 reasons, IAS and Ranveer Alavadia. Baki to content is, I am here, you are here. The IAS also doesn't allow you to rest. I wrote a piece right now in the car. I finished it in the car towards IIT, and there was a mention which you weren't listening at that time, random forays, fortnightly column, which I sent just now at 6 p.m. or 5:45 p.m. to my editor in the Hindustan Times. I was writing it since the morning, not that I wrote it in the cab. I'm not so frivolous, right? I was writing it since the morning, off and on, and now I just fine-tuned it and emailed it from my phone. In that I write about this, that government officials' mindsets. What is the mindset of a government official? Having been in the IAS, are we giving him any incentive to think positively, to think constructively, to think enthusiastically, to be fresh when he comes to deal with the public? No, we're not. We need to do that. Who is the most cheerful public dealing person we see anywhere? Let's say public dealing on movie tickets, restaurants, hotels. bus tickets, driving license, windows, ration card, fee counters. No, now it's all electronic. Do you meet anyone on campus? I mean, physically, everything is electronic. Public dealing officials are of different kinds. Their mindsets are of different kinds. Government doesn't promote smiles. Government doesn't say that you smile at somebody who comes to you. Nobody told me to smile when somebody came into my office. Nobody said be cheerful. They don't train us like that. They'll train you in the rules, even IAS. Don't train. So, the most cheerful person is probably a person in a cafe or a hotel, because they've been taught to smile and indigo, told to smile, and that is their training. So coming to the fact that I as a human being need to understand that I have a limitation of mind capacity, and that mind needs rest. And then my company also matters. If I'm surrounded by, of course I'm surrounded by my fellow students, but if all of them are in that mindset of being under pressure, do I spot any one person who is a little more bullish? Bullish is the right word? Bullish on life? A little more enthusiastic about life. Is that guy who's the little kunt, careless types? Not that deep rooted in overthinking. Must, as they say. Little bit cool headed guy. Maybe I should have his or her company a little more. As opposed to the guy who's, I'm not saying that you drop that friend who is, over analytical and over critical and over cynical and over caustic. Don't drop him or her. He needs you. He needs a relatively positive guy, which might be you. But if we are surrounded by company which is going to be negative all the time, then I had a friend from the civil services who used to call me up every day for a few months. Not after that. And every day he would criticize people. Around 6:30 or 7 when he's back home, these were not the days of the mobile, just before mobile phone, maybe in the 90s. I was a young officer in the 90s. And he used to criticize people. I never used to know these kinds, I never much, but he was a little senior to me. My wife told me, why do you listen to these? She could make out that I am listening to negativity. And also doing, jisko bolte haan mein haan milana, yes. When you're nodding or you're not protesting, that means you are agreeing with the person. Criticizing someone. And you are not protesting, no, this is wrong. Don't say anything like this without facts, without verifying facts. Gossip is very interesting. Do we contest the fact? Somebody says, so and so is doing these kinds of things nowadays. Do we say, no, don't gossip about somebody without reason? No, we don't. We usually say, whatever. So company matters. My company and my mind, they are linked. Company is stronger than willpower, said Paramahansa Yogananda. Company is stronger than willpower. Whatever strong your willpower is, however strong your willpower is, company will overcome it. When was the first time we succumbed to a bad habit? When is the first time a drug addict started taking drugs? Was it on his own, without any company? Not. It is because he or she wants to try what his or her company is trying out, or wants to be one of the gang. So company is extremely important. And as I said, you can't shed your friends because they are negative, but we try to maintain our positivity in front of all those negative guys, and we try to spend more time with people who are cheerful. Even in a dark situation, there is light. Where is the light? At the end of the tunnel? Where is the light, by the way, if I ask you a question? Is the light when we are passing through a tunnel, is it at the end of the tunnel? Where could it be? Yes? Everywhere, yes, that's very spiritual. But I believe the light is within you. Ultimately, you're carrying the light, but you haven't switched it on. So if we have light within, then we can face problems. And the saying is that when the light is switched on, the darkness vanishes as if it had never been. The saint said that when the light is switched on, the darkness vanishes as if it had never been. The darkest of caves in a mountain, where light has never gone, there are dark caves, right? Mines. But if one torch goes there, that darkness vanishes. Darkness of centuries vanishes. Which means that one person who can be a role model can change others' mindsets. And we are the mind. We are body, mind and soul. Or the spiritual aspect is that we are souls who have bodies and minds. But chalo, we are body, mind and soul. And the mind controls everything. The mind controls the bodies also. Yes, if you run, if you play, I'm a big votary of sports. And through sports, we become what are the 4 happy hormones, by the way? Anyone? Let's have a little quiz. 4 happy hormones. Number 1? Serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, endorphins. Maybe I'm not a doctor, I don't know whether that's a category of hormones or it's one type, I don't know. But anyway, sorry? Cortisol. Okay. Anyway, the 4 I know have been named. The thing is, sports will improve our mindset, our physical fitness will improve our mind, and an improved mindset will improve our physical health. It is true that COVID led to the second wave. I lost a lot of friends. I personally lost friends. And some of them I know could have survived if only the situation, the environment where they were alone in the hospital, the mindset had been slightly positive, better. So the mind plays a lot of havoc with our health, or it improves our health. You know that cancer as well is being treated by holistic methods. There are people who are treating cancer with, of course, medication, but also with meditation. Medication plus meditation. And laughter therapy. Laughter therapy was started by Dada Vaswani. Dada Vaswani, you can Google. Pune, I think. He was in Pune. Some people followed him in meditation and all. Dada Vaswani started laughter, therapy of laughter. So the mind and the mood, they impact our health. So now, having laid this context, what needs to be done? What do we need to do? Concrete terms. What are the takeaways? What are the takeaways? The first takeaway is we need to be conscious of the state of our mind. Whether we are overheating it, overusing it, overthinking, over-battering it, over-hammering our minds. Are we overdoing it? Are we sleeping enough? Number 1. Within this mind point. Number 2, are we doing nothing at times? What are the times when we are alone, by the way? In the washroom we are alone. When sometimes you go and have water, you may be alone, maybe. Or you have a bottle with you, you may not be alone. Sometimes you go for a walk, you're alone. These alone times are times of silence. at times, but nowadays we are listening to something or we are speaking into the phone. What is your time of silence? Can we expand that time a little bit to 15 minutes per day? Can we do nothing for 15 minutes a day? What is doing nothing by the way? Maybe you're watching the birds, nature lovers, or even not nature lovers. Maybe you are just thinking, yes, but not negative. Maybe you're being romantic. As long as you don't bang into the wall or the pole while overthinking about someone, it's okay. The point is, positive overthinking is, you love cricket and you think about cricket all the time, like we used to be, all of us, right? Many of us. Even now when I'm walking in an empty corridor, somewhere I imagine a ball coming to me and I have to play in my mind. It's automatic. I used to play. It's automatic even today. I imagine a delivery coming, left arm spinner, and I have to go back foot and play it to the covers. Not like Surya Kumar Yadav, straight bat. So can I switch off my mind at least to that extent? My normal thoughts are coming, it's okay. And thirdly, more powerful, can I meditate for 10 minutes? Let me tell you that 10-minute meditation will last the whole day. What is meditation? Meditation is concentration on God. But meditation can be concentration on the truth. Whatever your concept of the divine is. See, God needs approval from us. We have to approve the concept of God. He wants that approval from the human being. Nobody gives him universal approval. All the world has not given God universal approval. We fight. So we say, I want my own concept of God, which I'm comfortable with, said the saint. So the point is that whatever my concept of God is, can I concentrate on that concept of God? It could be peace, could be love, could be joy, happiness. It could be the truth. It could be a figure who we believe as per our religion. Could be. Could be a guru. Could be a scripture. But something has to be there. Could even be our parents. So the thing is that somebody has, or it could be Sachin Tendulkar, I mean, God of cricket. You have to have a concept and then you meditate upon that concept. And what is meditation? To be precise, it is concentration upon God, but how do we meditate? We perform a technique or a set of techniques to control the thoughts and the breath. The breath is the cord which ties the body to the soul. And if we control and calm down the breath, and we control and calm down the thoughts, by virtue of using a meditative technique or a set of techniques, then we are able to meditate more deeply. If I say I'm going to meditate and no thoughts of anything should come, the Zomato wala will call, Mama will call, what is happening on your campus? Worried. Somebody will call or somebody will ring the bell or whatever it is, knock at the door. I've been to your hostel, by the way. I went to that big hostel with top, how many? 9 stories. How many stories? 9 stories. What's it called? Mandakini. Mandakini. I went there. I talked to your hostel guys. They were telling me about this. 3 hours of reels. I saw that. I've also lived in IIT Kurukshetra in a hostel. So somebody will knock. So my efforts at meditation cannot just be that I'm going to switch off everything and think of God. Can't work. It won't work. What is the most uncontrollable facet of the universe? The mind. There's a poem in the autobiography of a yogi which says you can control wild tigers and beasts and elephants, and you can control seas and oceans and tornadoes, but you can't control the mind. Your mind will go from here to Cincinnati within. Somebody was saying today, from Oklahoma to Oklahoma, from Prague to Prague. The mind. So we have to basically perform techniques of meditation in order to be meditated. Should we meditate for 30 seconds or 60 seconds now? Would you like to do that? Let's do 60 seconds and then we come back to the talk. Just a glimpse of a preliminary technique right now, and then we'll do a 5-10 minute meditation towards the end, as you like. So let's do a preliminary breathing meditation technique. Not even breathing, we are just noticing our breath. Some of you may have done it before. So what we're going to do is to, once we close our eyes, we're going to just notice our incoming and outgoing breath. The poor breath is flowing throughout our lives without any certificate from us. Thank you, breath, for flowing so many times. We don't even notice. Sometimes it goes rapid rate, sometimes slow rate. When we are snoring, it is very smooth, very, very rhythmic, but not musical. Especially if the guy next to you is snoring, or next room also perhaps. Can you hear people from the next room snoring at times? Yes, they're nodding. The point is that we need to notice our breath coming in and out. Focus here, because that is the point where the energy flows from. We focus here. Close your eyes, spine straight, and just notice your breath coming in and out for 60 seconds. Spine should be straight. Sit straight. And just focus on two things, that is your breath and the point between the eyebrows. And don't control the breath. Let it flow naturally. I think I'm enjoying that so much that I don't want to stop, but in the interest of time we should stop. I know you don't want to stop also. Try it out tonight. And you might feel sleepy, you might feel groggy, but if you can do this for 5 minutes, 3 things will happen. 3. Your breath rate will go down. The rate of flow of your breath, or the air through your nostrils, will reduce. The rate, frequency will reduce. And there will come a time when you won't be able to even discern the flow of breath. After 5 odd minutes, you might feel that, when is my breath coming in and out? I can't even, that calmness may come. It's not superhuman or magical, it's normal. That level of calmness can come. Secondly, even if your thoughts are racing towards your dinner or something else, or after dinner, or Saturday night, today is Saturday night? Saturday night, even then, those thoughts will also gradually subside a little bit, not too much. Again, the mind is the most uncontrollable facet of the universe. And the third is your heart rate, your heart, which is pumping blood. It stops pumping blood to the senses. 5 senses we have. Touch, taste, smell, hearing. Touch, taste, smell, hearing. Sight, of course, sight. And the 6th sense is intuition. So these 5 senses are all being pumped blood because we are using them too much. And the heart can never rest. But when we meditate, the heart withdraws the energy to the spine, where we need it. That's where we need energy. So when we meditate, our 3 things are happening. These 3 things are happening. And this is Paramahansa Yogananda's teaching. Similar teachings will be there in many paths. You may have even thought of a mantra while watching the breath, noticing the breath. That's fine. Whatever mantra you have learned, or you want to say something, oh God, Om, something, you can do whatever you like. Ek Onkar, whatever you want to do, you do. The thing is that if we practice meditation at a young age, we become better human beings, more energized, more conscious of our minds, and we become calmer. Calmness is our best friend. Calmness is your best friend. Okay, let's have a couple of examples. The pond, a pond of water which is absolutely still. You can see the reflection of the moon clearly. But if we throw a pebble into the water, then what happens? Reflection is distorted. Our mind is the pond. When you see the picture of life clearly, it is when your mind is calm. But when you are agitated, do you take the right decision or say the right things? You shout at people or abuse people or fight back because you are agitated. When you are restless, your mind is not calm, you take the wrong decision and you say the wrong thing which you repent for life at times. There's a saying that words are very painful and harmful. So small little battles you should solve by fighting, which is a joke. Don't do it. Physical fisticuffs are not required. But don't say things which cannot be recalled. Words can't be recalled. So our disturbed minds are our enemies, our calm minds are our friends. Anger management is also a very important goal. Can we manage our anger by reducing it first and then making it absolutely very little, maybe once a month you lose your cool, as opposed to 10 times a day now? Possible, some people. And is your anger having the same impact 10 times a day on others? Law of diminishing returns. First time you got angry, they were scared of you. 9th time you get angry, 100th time, nobody bothers. So losing your cool is counterproductive and leads to blood pressure and problems. Worry is also a brake at the saint. We are pressing the accelerator of our life and we are worrying. Depression results from overthinking, fear and worry. And it's on our outlook. There are thousands of students on campus who are fine, who are relatively fine. An incident occurred. 4 incidents occurred. Those 4 incidents which occurred, they are the worst possible scenarios for the family and for everyone, and for the person concerned. In the spiritual realm, they say that when somebody has to go like that, I think whatever I've read, they come back. And they have to again go through until they get it, until they go the natural way. An accident or an accidental end to your life is not in your hands. But a deliberate end to your life is a choice. It's a choice. In spite of the fact that our mind is absolutely, at that time, down in the dumps. So it is our willpower which helps us. And who suffers after the person has gone? So the person who is going, is he thinking of those persons who are going to be left behind? It's very easy for us to say all this. Very difficult for the person, no doubt. But it is a choice. And the saint said that these are incomplete lives. We don't have a choice of when we are born. Do we have a choice? We didn't have a choice. Our parents had the choice. And we can't have a choice to end our life either. We can't. We don't. So, euthanasia and other things we've read about, that is a different matter altogether. But here this is not done. So it is not a solution to anything. The worst possible day and the darkest corner is more acceptable. And the worst humiliation or the worst ignorance of happiness is also acceptable. Because who bounces back? Have not people bounced back from the worst possible condition? The darkest hours? We bounce back. When COVID was there, when pandemic still around a little bit, some of us thought we'll never go back to campus, right? Or to office. But now it's gone. We forgot the lessons. And when COVID was on, we realized, or we should have realized, before that we were taking things for granted. So my point to you is that we need to win the battle of the mind and not allow ourselves to lose it. Another facet that can help is creative thinking. Whoever has music in his life or her life, sports, a passion for sports, a passion for books, painting, photography, philately. What is philately? Philately? Stamp collection, yeah? Nowadays we don't have stamps also, no? We only have WhatsApp or Instagram messaging. Anyway, we do. You know what stamps are. I make fun of your generation a little bit when I go, have you ever written a handwritten letter? I ask them. It's okay, we can poke fun at old people, then old people can poke fun at young people. But the thing is that some passion creatively has to be there. Cooking. These days filter coffee is my passion. First thing I do on Chennai airport, I go and have filter coffee. Authentic. So authentic, I tell you. Obviously authentic. Land of filter coffee. Lassi, somewhere else. You go to Europe and you have any Indian food. Home is different. In a cafe, it will never taste the same. Indian food will never taste the same abroad. In a cafe. So, my point to you is please find that creative facet. It will keep your mind energized. When you play the guitar on Sunday, then on Monday you are back to work with enthusiasm. And then all week you look forward to that guitar on Sunday. Not now as student, but later also. I know the Vice Chancellor of a university, I've written about him in my third book, Finding Success Within. He plays the drums. Not Vice Chancellor, he's Chancellor now. He's learned how to play the drums recently. And he's learning Chinese language. Chancellor. He was my teacher when I met him on the flight from Chandigarh to Bombay. I said, sir, where are you off to? He said, I'm appearing for my Chinese exam in Mumbai. Mid-70s now. Age. That verve. Josh. And everybody goes through ups and downs. Who has not gone through ups and downs? I'm not joking at anyone, but look at Mr. Ambani's son. Sometimes he's 200 kg, sometimes goes down to 100 kg, then back to 200. Poor thing has to battle that. And spoiled in the beginning. Now he has to work hard. Nobody is born with a silver spoon and lives with a golden spoon and never goes through any trouble. Everybody goes through trouble. But we cannot lose the battle of the mind. Okay, so I think I'll sit there now and we can have a bit of Q&A and then we can have a short meditation. Is that okay with everyone? So any questions from you? Tell me. Around overthinking, and why I want you to ask questions is because others will also benefit. Others in the hall and others around you. One question could be, let me come up with one and you think of the second one. Because I get this question many a time. That I'm often comparing myself to others. This question I get. And in comparison, I find that I'm lacking certain things. Confidence, capability, marks, money, power, fame, likes, followers. I'm lacking compared to so-and-so on Instagram. Instagram is our biggest enemy, but biggest friend also. I'm there because you are there. So what is my answer to comparison? What is my answer to feeling lower than someone else in self-esteem? So my answer is that your journey is a soul journey. It's a lone journey. There was a story, Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger, horseback. Read books. Books are good for you. So your journey is a lone journey. And the saint said that when at the end of life, you know that story about Saint Peter is over there, the Christians say Saint Peter will meet you at the pearly gates when you go from this world. Saint Peter will welcome you there. And you say, Saint Peter, you know, in this life, so and so person really troubled me a lot. He really bothered me all my life. Saint Peter says, I don't want to hear about him. How did you respond to the troubles? What was your response to the problems that he created for you? Maybe you were not the topper. Wherever you were placed, how was your mind and how was your attitude in that position? Wherever destiny placed you. Saint Peter will ask you such questions. But when that person who bothered you all your life, when he goes to the pearly gates, then Saint Peter will ask him, why did you trouble that chap? So our karma, our journey is alone. So comparison is, there's a saying, I think comparison is odious. Only Mr. Tharoor knows the meaning of odious. But my point to you is that comparison is self-defeating. We have to fight our own battle. If I am happy, I can be happy as a Golgappa man, rickshaw man. I can be happy as a cleaning lady or cleaning person in a washroom. If I'm not to be happy, I can be unhappy as Donald Trump. Sorry, I'm naming somebody, but we know a few unhappy people. They keep popping up on our screens at times. They never smile. I can think of some others. So, comparison is not to be done. I need to be calm and happy within, and that is only by raising the level of my consciousness. It's very difficult to understand these concepts because we're going through the student life. Expectation. You might think it's easy for me to say because, resigned from the IIS, very cool, going and speaking, no pressure from Professor Bhargav or anyone else. Marks, tutes. Do you have tutes? What do you have? Tutorials, whatever you have. Quiz, presentations. I know, no? So these things are, but they are your battles. Any other question? This question I answered on my own. Yeah, what's your name? Dhairya. Good, nice name. We all need it. You don't have it? No, even I don't have Vivek.
While meditating, while focusing on this part of your head, what exactly are we supposed to think about?
So, I'm not a qualified meditation teacher, but I'm going to tell you broadly, and then you can read the lessons which were there on the presentation. They are detailed, they are accurate, and they are not as tough as your books, let me tell you. They are simple, lucid booklets which tell you how to meditate. So, if you want to, as a beginner, you can think of the Lord here, His image or her image. Some people think of Divine Mother, who is basically Ma, or the Lord. You can think of any Lord Krishna, Jesus Christ, anything, Guru Nanak, whatever you want. The thing is that when we are human beings, we need a concept, an image of God. But God is, as far as I've read, not a person. But you cannot think of love as God because there it's dissipative, right? It's not clear. So you think of a person, it's fine. More questions? Dhairya is a good name, by the way. Yes. What's your name? Kaushik. You thought I won't ask your name? Hanji Kaushik, yes.
So I wanted to ask you, mentioned about searching for the passion, right?
Searching for passion.
Yeah, to think creatively. So sometimes it's also hard, right, to keep pursuing what you love, right? So I love writing, and whenever I am disturbed, even when I couldn't carry on my writing skills, right? So at that time, like, how should we pursue the thing?
Yeah, that's a very good question. He says that I love writing, but I can't pursue writing and I feel bad about it, right? Because of time or whatever it is. So I'm also a writer and speaker, so I love writing. And I met Ruskin Bond in his house once, and I like to call him Mr. Bond because, So Mr. Bond was saying that he gets grumpy whenever he doesn't write. The day he doesn't write, he becomes grumpy. So that day he was very cheerful. And after a while he says, but today I haven't written anything. So I said, Mr. Bond, you just said that you become grumpy when you don't write anything, but today you are very cheerful. He said, no, I wrote one line in the morning. But that made me feel that, okay, I've done a little bit today. Now the thing is that there is a saying, a busy man will get the job done. If you give work to the busy man, he will do it. But the lazy man or the khali baita man may not do it. So the busy guy has to find time to accommodate another activity in his busy life. And I said this last time also, I think Socrates said, beware the barrenness of a busy life. Barrenness, banjar zameen, barren. Busy lives are barren. Nothing is sprouting out of it. But one day of painting will enhance your life. I am not an artist, I can't dance also. Music, okay, little bit, writing, cricket, sports, but you can find something else. So writing has to be done. Kaushik, I want you to write. So by November, I want a book. Okay, November 24. Reasonable target. Yes.
Sampath.
Sir, overthinking is always a bad thing, or
Text, we say overthinking is basically overdoing something. But if we are thinking of something like you have a passion and you want to keep on thinking of it, then that cannot be negative, right? It's mostly positive. However, too much of anything is also obsession. So obsession is not good. Addiction is not good. So supposing you're overthinking about your music for just a minute. You are an instrumentalist and you keep thinking about music during class, during the driving time. It's counterproductive. But mostly when we say overthinking, we say you are thinking too much about fear, worry, stress.
enhanced thinking only, we'll get the innovative ideas, which will be useful for our research.
No, definitely. There is a tipping point. You can go on being passionate, driven, but there has to be a limit to everything. You can do 90% of that, 85 to 90%. But 15% also life has to go on at the same time. You can't do 100% of one dimension. You are intelligent people. We cannot be unidimensional. Yes, ma'am. Your name? Kalyani. Yeah, procrastination. So there was this, when we were small children, there was this little joke. It says, procrastination is a very big word. How do you spell it? So the answer was IT. How do you spell it? Procrastination is a very big word. How do you spell it? Right? IT was the answer. Anyway, that was a joke. When we were small boys, we used to hear this. But procrastination is a common word used by all your generation. And in Bhargavji's generation, we never thought about procrastination. Although we also procrastinated at times. The thing is that being decisive is a habit. But being compulsive is also a habit. So being decisive means you're a quick decision maker. When you go to a cafe, how much time do you take to decide what to eat? Do you take more time than others or less time? Kalyani, tell me. You take more time. Okay? You know of a friend who immediately decides what he or she wants? Or all take more time? You take more time. Okay. And when you have to buy something, you take more time or less time to decide what you want to, which top to buy, which t-shirt to buy, what? To make the choice, right? So why we take time is because we are worried about the consequences of a wrong decision. Now what can go wrong when you have gone to a cafe? Whether you eat dosa or chola bhatura, I mean, basically the oil will be there. You have gone to a cafe, you want to enjoy yourself and eat that food which you should not be eating. I mean, that basically decide and eat. Okay, spend more time talking to your friends. When you go to buy something, more money is involved, more long-term decision making is involved. So obviously you have to. And when you have to choose your partner for life, again you have to think deeply, more deeply, more deeply, more deeply. But not so deeply that you don't take the decision. So procrastination is when you go beyond a reasonable point of deciding. And no decision can be perfect. So if you tell yourself no decision is perfect, then you will not procrastinate. Because then you will say that, okay, I feel 80% this seems fine. Right? 80% or 70-80%, I am quite sure of this. When a captain wins the toss, he has to decide, batting or bowling. He may take the wrong decision, but he has to take a decision. So you cannot really procrastinate beyond a point. You can be thoughtful, you can ponder, but within a few hours, important decisions, within a few days, lifelong decisions, and within a few seconds, dosa or chana bhatura. That's it. Got it? Otherwise you call me up, I'll help you decide. Next time. Yes, your name? Yes? Why did you not think I'm talking to you? Why are you looking back? I'm talking to you. What's your name?
Tejas.
Tejas. Zor se bolo. Tejas, okay. Now tell me.
So like, why was universe created? Why was universe created?
I didn't get that. Why was the universe created? Tejas. You have the answer in your name. What is Tejas? What is Tejas?
In Sanskrit it means fire.
Fire.
It means glow. It means light. Am I right or wrong? So God, see, I am a spiritual, I am an engineer, but I am a spiritual person, okay. God created the universe through light. Through light. And God, it is said that God was bored. He created the universe to entertain himself. This is actually what the scriptures say. Duality was created by God. God is the truth, ultimate, beyond duality. Nothing can go wrong, perfectly above. But he created this duality, heat and cold, hate and love, cold and, salted and sweet, all duality. Good and bad, forces of evil, good. So duality is why he created the universe. And the physical manifestation of universe, you would read the Big Bang Theory and all, you'll know why the universe was created. But ultimately it was created for us to understand that we have to go back to God. That's what the saints of India say. It was created so that man can understand that the universe is futile. Life is futile. Fame is fleeting. Life is fleeting. There's a song, no? What is the song? Time is fleeting, time is fleeting, time is fleeting, something like that. So it's fleeting. So it is for us to understand that I have to go back to God. That's why the universe was created, which is beyond our comprehension. You can complain to him, why did you create this universe? You understand a little bit? Whatever I understand, I've shared. Beyond this, he knows.
I wanted to know how to start and continue meditating.
We'll do that in a while, but how to start is basically you do what we did for 1 minute, you do it for 5 minutes every day. Then you read these lessons and you will see that there is a science behind meditation. It is not spiritual, it is not superstition. It is spiritual science. And there is a concept of oxygen involved, of breathing involved, of energy flow involved. Meditation is not just, because the Lord is saying that you meditate, so you meditate. It's not like that. There is a science. And Kriya Yoga is definitely a science. So please read it. But start with this 5-minute meditation and gradually you will understand why you are meditating. You will find the benefits. I have become a calmer person over the years. My birth sign, you can guess? Scorpio. Who has Scorpio? Please raise your hand in this hall. Dr. Bhargav has been meditating for 20 years. And no other Scorpio by birth. November born, nobody. November born. So why are you not earlier raising your hand? You forgot your date of birth? Okay. You also? Oh, good. Yeah.
To get into meditation, or you started meditating. Sir, what was the reason? Like, how did you come to meditation?
Because my wife was meditating. No. Because I found her changing. She was meditating for 3 or 4 years before that. She was always ahead of me. Even now she's ahead of me in meditation. No, seriously. So everybody, she's ahead of everybody. Everybody, wow, look at her meditating. No, the thing is that you prove to be a role model for others, and somebody proves to be a role model for you. You find this fellow is meditating and he seems something is there about him. That's how I started. Then I see these monks. Swami Sudananji came here. He is from IIT Madras. He is from IIT, and there is another Swamiji from IIT Kharagpur, another from IIT Bombay in our Yogoda Satsang. I look at them, these Swamijis, they are meditating for 40 years, 50 years. They became monks. You don't need to become monks. But if they are meditating, these intelligent, brilliant people, otherwise also very level-headed, balanced, creative. So I admire them. Then I feel that I also have to meditate. Something is there. That's how I. Yeah, at the back. Your name?
Mansha.
So you mentioned about how comparison it's not a very good thing. But if we see even in college or we go ahead where we work, there's always some sort of comparison, and at times it proves to because you are getting compared, it brings the best out of you. So how do you maintain that balance that it's helping you in improving your efficiency, but it does not get to such a point that you start feeling negative about your own?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a very good question. You see, it's a balancing act, and life is a balancing act. When you ride your cycle, here I see many cycles on the campus. When I went to this Mandakini, there are how many thousand bicycles I saw that day. You were walking around the campus, no? So the cycle goes on balance, no? Both the sides, weight has to be the same. So basically, comparison to enhance your performance in anything is obviously inspiring. I want to be like Dhoni. So if I want to be like Dhoni, now I am not going to be keeping for India, but I want to be as calm as this man is. He is your Chennai Super Kings superhero. Look at the calmness even today. And yesterday he was inspiring the opposition players. Hyderabad players were coming. So the calmness in that man helps me. By comparison, I want to be like him. But if I keep pulling myself down, that you are not calm yet, look at Dhoni, what are you, worthless, criticizing myself, abusing, scolding myself, pushing myself down, then it's counterproductive. So I need to be very watchful of my mind. Is it a positive comparison? Is it spurring me on, or is it pulling me down? So if it's pulling me down, then I need to get out of that mindset. And then you might have something good which the other person doesn't have. Supposing the top actress, top cricketer, top businessman, top of the world they seem to be, and you feel that you are not there, but maybe you have something greater or better than them, some other quality. So always back yourself. Yes, first here, then 2 questions left. Yeah.
I'm Srivastav.
You are Srivastav.
Yeah. How can we handle the need to be recognized in our social group?
How can we handle the need to?
Need to be recognized in our social group, peer pressure.
Yeah, good question. See, one thing I'll tell you on public speaking skills. When I'm a public speaker, I talk about this. Always say the key word louder. Shrivastava. Say your name louder. Your recognition was the key word, louder. And the punchline louder. So, the need for recognition is a very basic need nowadays. It's like almost like water and food. Everybody wants to be recognized. Everybody wants followers, everybody wants likes, everybody wants appreciation. In fact, we are not appreciating others enough. The society is not appreciating each other enough. So if we start praising people instead of criticizing, then that culture of praise will come. I wrote about it in my column. Then you will also be at the benefit. You will benefit from that culture of praise. So you start praising others. You start recognizing others, and you find it comes back to you. I think I am very happy with my answer actually. because I never gave this answer before. If you start praising others, you will find that goodwill will be created. What is the earning of life? Goodwill. Not all your riches. People are talking nice things about you in the campus without you being there. That is your goodwill. Or anywhere in the world. After 20 years somebody meets you, wants to talk to you, wants to meet you because you were such a good guy. So you give out that vibe. Vibe is also their word nowadays. Good vibes, bad vibes. So vibe, give out that vibe and it will come back to you. So if you want to be recognized, recognize others. Yeah, so peer pressure is a part of the game. You have to win the battle of your mind. Some people will handle it, some won't. In the same situation, one person is stressed out, one person is cool. Because of his or her inner attitude. Yeah, you're not late, come. Yes. Your name?
Samvit.
You sit down.
Sir,
Amit or Sambit?
Samvit.
Sambit.
Sir, as we know that many things are there to do nowadays and lot of things are yet to be explored by us, and we don't know where to actually feel the content, where do we feel content and where do we feel like many things are there we want to explore. So where to achieve that state, like I have achieved this thing and I have to be content in that thing and I don't have to explore anymore.
If you permit, I'll tell a story to answer your question, okay? I heard this story from Swami Smarnanandji, who is a very senior Swamiji, and IIT Kharagpur earlier. He says there was a monk sitting under a tree and meditating outside a village. For 1 month he was meditating. Nobody saw him eating or sleeping, must be at times. And a man goes to him and says, Swamiji, I believe you have a diamond which is very priceless. Can I have that diamond? Please give it to me. So this Swamiji gives him a diamond from the bag and says, okay, you can take it. You can go. He takes the diamond and goes. Some people are watching also. He comes back after 1 week and says, Swamiji, please take back this diamond. He said, why? Was it not priceless? Was it not useful to you? He said, no, Swamiji, this is the most expensive diamond in the region. Many of my generations of my family will be rich if I keep this or sell this diamond. But I don't want this diamond. I can't get over the fact that you gave me the diamond without hesitation, without flinching, without thinking, without even a minute of thinking or pondering. I want that which made you give me this diamond. I want that which made you give me this diamond. So these are our priorities. Your question is about priorities. When can we be satisfied? So we can never be satisfied. But if we win that mind battle of calmness, Swamiji knows it doesn't, if he needs a diamond, it will come from somewhere. No, that might be too, far-fetched and dreamy. But priorities are clear. It illustrates that we basically don't need the biggest car in the world. We don't need to be the most powerful or the most famous. We need to be content in a comfortable life. All of us working or studying in IIT will be reasonably successful in life. Already are. Coming here is an achievement. Thousands of people could not come, lakhs. So, always wanting more may not be the right answer. The answer may be to be contented with what you have. Very difficult. But our reasonable aspirations are okay. If they go overboard, then it's a problem. You understood my answer? Okay, no repeat questions. We'll meet outside. But last I can take, I think. Anyone else? Okay, last. Your name? Your Ram? Very simple. Ram, you should know. But Lord Ram knows. I will not attempt to answer, but I'll just share my thoughts, okay? I don't know the answer to it. What is the meaning of life? Beyond my syllabus. What is the meaning of my life, your life, our lives? To some extent I can answer. The goal of life is happiness. That's what I've read, learned, heard. The meaning of my life is to find happiness. It cannot be to find sadness. It cannot be to destroy. My life's goal is to find happiness for myself and my friends and my family and people around. Where is happiness to be found? It can be found, as I said last time, I think I said that, in a pani puri, in a chocolate, in a samosa. When you're hungry, even the most insipid food will be wow, because you're hungry. So whatever desire you have at that moment is satisfied, you're happy. But everlasting happiness is found within. So the meaning of life is to find everlasting happiness, which is found within. And then if the power goes, or earthquake comes, or war happens, I'm still reasonably cool, because I found my power within. Of course I have to be successful in life, because it's my duty. So the meaning of life is to find happiness within, and that is only found in God, Lord Ram. I think you're all pretty spellbound, so you can clap now. So let's have a closing meditation and prayer. Is that okay? So what you will do is similar to last time, but you can add one or two things, okay? So we'll do a preliminary breathing exercise before we start that watching the breath, and that will help us to relax our bodies and minds a little bit. So what we do is to inhale while tensing the whole body, like tensing the whole body, even your feet, your legs, your arms and everything you can tense, and inhale like this. Do it now. Deep breath and then double exhalation and relax. And relax the whole body. So we'll do this 3 times at our own pace, at your own pace do it. Inhale and tense the body. And double exhalation and relax. And inhale through the nostril mostly and exhale through the mouth. Once more. And when you relax the body and exhale, you can feel as if you're letting go of all your tensions and stresses also. There's a saying in the temple, when you leave the shoes outside, leave your tensions along with the shoes outside. But we bring them inside also. So now you release them here. Deep breathing once more. Tense the body. And double exhalation and relax. We do another short preliminary exercise. So what we'll do is to breathe to the mental count of 10. You'll deep breathe. Wait, don't do it right now. We'll do it together. When we breathe in, we count to 10 mentally. We pause the breath, hold the breath for a count of 10, and then we exhale to a count of 10. Simple enough. We breathe into 10, hold to 10, exhale to 10. And that 10 is quite fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because you don't want to become uncomfortable while breathing in or holding or relax. Okay? If you feel uncomfortable, you can reduce the number to 6. Let's do it 2-3 times on your own pace. Breathe in to 10 and slowly. Slow breathing this time. Hold to 10. And exhale to 10. Count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can do this 2 more times. Okay, now we start what we did earlier. We close our eyes, we straighten the spine, we relax the body, You can keep your your hands on the legs, just near the junction of the thigh and the upper body, and both the hands can be there, or they just rest. You should be relaxed, but the body should be straight. The spine should be straight, chin parallel to the ground. Focus on the point between the eyebrows, and just watch your breath or notice your breath coming in and out. For 3 minutes we'll do it. If you want, you can think of God at your kutastha. This is known as the Christ center, the Krishna center, or the kutastha, between the eyebrows. So just do this, watch your breath. Some people can say Om or a mantra, any mantra that you like, or don't need to, it's up to you, mentally. Okay, I think we can stop there, although some of you are looking so peaceful, I don't feel like stopping you, but in the interest of time we have to, but you can continue in the evening. Let's do one quick visualization and one quick affirmation, okay? Then we close. So in the visualization, you visualize yourself as if you're surrounded by a ball of light. White light is surrounding you. It's just enveloping. Everywhere around you is a ball of light. Just close your eyes and continue to think of yourself. Maybe this hall, the whole hall is surrounded by a ball of light. It's expanding. That ball of light is expanding. It's surrounding all of us. It makes us feel safe, peaceful, joyful, loved, cared for, happy. And the ball of light is expanding further, enveloping the whole of the campus. A ball of white light. Enveloping the whole of the city now. Chennai city, the whole city is enveloped in that ball of light. And then the whole country, the whole of India. The ball keeps expanding rapidly. A ball of white light. The whole of India and then the whole of the world. It keeps expanding. Just keep feeling the peace of being absorbed in that white light. And with your eyes closed, you can repeat after me this affirmation. We'll do it 3 times loudly and 3 times softly. Repeat after me. I will be calmly active.
I will be calmly active.
And actively calm.
And actively calm.
I will be calmly active.
I will be calmly active.
And actively calm.
And actively calm.
I will be calmly active.
I will be calmly active.
And actively calm.
And actively calm.
A little softly. I will be calmly active and actively calm. I will be calmly active and actively calm. I will be calmly active and actively calm. Now repeat these words in your mind 3 or 4 times, only in the mind. Feel the calmness and feel grateful for what we have, the peace, the joy, and thank the Lord in your minds for this day, this life, everything good in your life. Okay, thank you. I think we'll have to close here, though I think we have all gone into ecstasy and samadhi and, uplifted. So thank you very much for being here, and Rohan, you'll take over.